Bharat Shah and Mani Ratnam presents Dil Se. Namaste and welcome to IndiCineGlitz channel. It's a stormy night. Cold winds are blowing. Amarkant Verma, who works for All India Radio, has to travel from Delhi to Assam for his work. He is waiting for his train at the railway station. Shivering with cold, Amar wished for a cigarette, but he had no lighter. He asks the person sitting across from him, but gets no response. But still, he keeps chatting with the person to pass his time. Still gets no response. A strong wind then blows away the person's blanket, revealing the person to be a beautiful young woman. It was love at first sight for Amar. He wants to talk and get to know about her, but just then, her train arrives and she leaves, leaving Amar in the sweet pangs of love. Amar reaches his destination the next day, where he meets his colleague Kamal, who has come to pick him up at the station. As assigned, Amar interviews several people there, accompanied by a local translator for their radio program, from which he comes to know that the people there are not happy with the government and are still struggling for basic amenities. Due to this, some extremist groups there are challenging the government by choosing the path of violence and carrying out terrorist attacks for their rights. And that's why that area has always been under tension, which has led to massive deployment of the army. Amar gets an opportunity to interview the leader of one such militant group, who tells him that even after 50 years of independence, the government has not fulfilled its promises for the development of their people. He then rejects the tag of terrorist on him and calls himself a revolutionary who wants to achieve his goals by any means necessary. One day, Amar sees that woman again. He tries to talk to her, but she refuses to even recognize him. But persistent and madly in love, Amar follows her home and confesses his love for her. But she tells him that she is married and wants him not to pursue her anymore. Heartbroken, he now tries to forget her, but asks to meet one last time to apologize to her. But this time, she doesn't come alone, but has brought some men with her. They beat him badly and warn him to stay away from their sister, from which Amar learns that the woman lied to him, that she is married. Amar's colleagues find him unconscious in the forest. They bring him to the hospital. Seeing his condition, Kamal also wants him to stay away from that girl. But Amar is overjoyed to learn that she is single and looking forward to meeting her again. After recovering, he immediately goes to her house. But there he finds that she was only there for a few days and has now left. But Amar somehow finds her whereabouts and leaves for that place. Now he comes to Leh State, where he's covering the festivities. He spots that girl in the crowd. He follows her and boards the bus she was on. She is shocked to see him but does not answer any of Amar's questions. Meanwhile, their bus breaks down and they have to walk to the next city, which was a 2 days journey. They proceed with a local convoy. Meanwhile, Amar tries to get to know this mysterious woman. She tells her name as Meghna and refuses to give any further information about herself. But Amar repeatedly professes his love for her and proposes marriage. But she refuses and says that she has no time for all this. But Amar does not lose hope and continues to be with her. But the next morning, Meghna leaves him there without saying anything or giving any explanation. In the next scene of the film, we see a group of militants in a village house preparing for their next mission. And one of them happens to be Meghna, whom Amar is madly in love with. On the other hand, Amar is now back at his home in Delhi, but he is unable to forget her. He is engrossed in her memories and misses her in his life. Meanwhile, Amar's family wants him to get married and settle down in life, so they introduce him to a girl named Preeti. Preeti then tells him that she is going through heartbreak as her ex-boyfriend has dumped her. Amar then also tells his story to her, and thus they feel connected and become friends. One day, Amar sees one of the Meghna's companion named Kim on the way. Amar tries to talk to him, but he runs away. Amar tries to chase him, but bumps into a woman and loses track of him. Kim also collides with the police while running. The police then starts questioning him, but before he could say anything, he ingests cyanide and dies on the spot. Seeing the seriousness of this matter, the police hand over this case to the CBI and CBI starts its investigation. Meghna's militant group gets information about Kim. Meghna is saddened by Kim's death as he was like a brother to her. But their leader asks her to focus on their mission and devise a new plan to achieve their ultimate goal. On the other hand, Amar agrees to marry Priti. His family starts preparing for their engagement. Then, on his engagement day, Meghna suddenly comes to Amar's house. She tells him that she is looking for a house to live in for a few days and for a job. She asks him to help her. Amar then agrees to help her and lets her stay at his house for a few days. But Amar is now distracted. He still has feelings for her and wants to be with her. Meghna too seems sad about Amar's engagement and is trying her best to hide her feelings for Amar. He calls her to his office with the documents for the job profile. Under the pretext of an interview, he asks her why she left him alone back there. She replies that there is no use running after what is not in your destiny. Amar then asks her if she doesn't love him at all, to which Meghna refuses to answer. But still, Amar hires her for a temporary position. But Meghna's condition is not hidden from her militant leader. He realizes that she had feelings for Amar. He then reminds her why she is here and what their ultimate goal is. He asks her to remember the atrocities they have suffered and urges her not to forget her goals because of love. Unable to hide his feelings, Amar once again expresses his love for Meghna and says that he is ready to leave everything behind if she agrees. But Meghna again turns down his proposal. But seeing the love and affection of Amar's family, Meghna's thoughts begin to change. She questions her companion Meeta. What's the point of killing innocent people and putting these good people in trouble? She now even starts doubting their mission. But then Meeta reminds her of her responsibilities and asks to focus on her ultimate goal and finish the task at any cost. On the other hand, the CBI learns that someone was chasing the killed man Kim before his death, and they end up with the woman who was injured during that chase. The woman reveals to them that he is a man named Amar Verma who works in All India Radio who pushed her down the stairs, and recently she met him again at the radio office where he apologized to her. Getting this information, the CBI immediately goes to Amar and starts questioning him about the killed man. But Amar refuses to recognize him and says that he was chasing him only because he once had abused him. But the CBI is not satisfied with his answers and they keep a watch on him. Amar also immediately goes to ask Meghna the truth, but he couldn't find her in the office and learns that she had gone to cover the rehearsal of the military parade to be held on 26 January, which is the Constitution Day of India. It is celebrated every year in the capital of India, Delhi, with a military parade and display of tableaux of Indian culture. On this day, thousands of Indians gather at Kartavya Path Road in Delhi to experience this festival. Amar then immediately goes there to meet her. He spots her in the crowd and takes her to a corner and demands the truth from her. And finally, Meghna reveals the truth to him that her real name is not Meghna but Moina. When she was 12 years old, the army stationed there burned down her entire village on the pretext of nabbing terrorists. They raped her along with her sister and killed her entire family in the operation. There were many children like her who became victims of these atrocities. She tells Amar that while the country is celebrating 50 years of independence, there are many people like Moina who have not received justice to date and want to avenge their atrocities to make the government see their failure. After hearing her story, Amar asks her to start a new life by marrying him and forgetting her terrible past, but Moina says it's too late now and she can't deviate from her goal. Amar then questions her about the goal, upon which he learns that Moina's militant group has planned a suicide attack on a parade in Delhi on 26th of January. Amar is shocked to hear this and aggressively asks her not to do so, but the police there think he's misbehaving with Moina and arrest Amar. On the other hand, CBI gets to know all the details about Moina and her group as well as their plan. They immediately reach Amar's house to inquire and search Moina's room. Moina's accomplice naps Amar from police custody and tries to kill him, but they get into a fight, but Amar injures both of them. Just then, Moina calls on one of her colleagues' mobile. Amar then tells her that he will never let her succeed in her goal and is coming to stop her. But in the meanwhile, CBI traces Amar and arrests him. but Amar escapes from there as well. And as per the information received from Preeti, who overheard Meeta's conversation on a call, reaches the place where Moina would reach on the day of the attack. Moina's team is now all set to execute their plan. Some high-ranking officials in the government are also involved in this plan, so all the members of the Moina's group easily pass the security check and enter the parade. On the morning of attack, Moina leaves for the parade with the bomb strapped to her body. But on the way, she finds Amar. She asks him not to come any closer to her. But now, determined Amar tells her that he still loves her and can't live without her anyway, so he asks her to take him along with her wherever she's going. Moina ignores him, but Amar clutches her and asks her to confess her love once before their departure. And finally, Moina expresses her love for him and hugs him. Just then, the bomb planted on Moina's body explodes, killing both Amar and Moina. And the movie ends. So this was our favorite movie of the day. If you find this movie streaming in your country, then I'm sure you'll definitely watch it. Do tell us your opinion in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care.